You block my driveway? Fine, I'll block your van. My house has this garage with a driveway that leads straight out to the street, and this street is super narrow, like two cars can barely squeeze past each other without someone losing a mirror. There's also these little concrete walls on both sides that people built around their properties. They're only like 1.5 feet tall, but they're enough to completely trap your car if you're not careful backing up. The whole street is basically lined with driveways, so anyone with half a brain knows you don't park there. You just don't. Next to my house is this restaurant that gets deliveries all the time. Usually the drivers are pretty smart about it. They park across the street in this little parking area so they're not blocking anyone. Takes them maybe an extra 20 seconds of walking, not a big deal. But this one Tuesday, I had to get to the town hall to pick up my new ID card, and they're super strict about the pickup times. If you're not there during your appointment window, you have to reschedule and wait another 3 weeks, so I couldn't be late. I get in my car, start backing out of my driveway, and that's when I see it. This massive delivery van parked right next to my driveway, not blocking it exactly, but positioned so I literally cannot get my car out onto the street. The angle is completely wrong because of those concrete walls I mentioned. I'm sitting there trying to figure out if I can somehow squeeze past when the delivery guy comes walking out of the restaurant carrying a box. He's this middle-aged dude with a clipboard, just casually strolling like he's got all the time in the world. I roll down my window and say, "Hey, can you move your van? I need to get out." He doesn't even look at me, just keeps walking to his van, puts the box inside and goes, "Nope, I'm almost done. See the hazard lights? I'm allowed to park here. Allowed to park here." Like hazard lights are some magic force field that lets you do whatever you want. I tried again. I really need to leave right now. I have an appointment. He literally waved me off and walked back into the restaurant, just completely dismissed me. I sat there for a second trying to process the audacity. This guy was going to make me late for my ID pickup because he didn't want to walk an extra 15 meters. So I did the only logical thing. I pulled my car forward so I was blocking half the street, then I turned off my engine and turned on my hazard lights. If hazard lights meant you could park wherever you wanted, then I could sit wherever I wanted too. I pulled out my phone and just waited. 10 minutes went by, then 15. I watched him make like 4 trips back and forth loading boxes. Each time he walked past my car, he'd glare at me, but I'd just smile and wave. Finally, he loads the last box, slams the van doors, and gets in the driver's seat. He starts the engine and I can see him in my rear view mirror. He's trying to pull forward to avoid backing up down the narrow street, but he can't because I'm in the way. He honks. I don't move. He honks again, longer this time. I turn around and give him a thumbs up. Then he rolls down his window and starts yelling, "Move your car. I need to get past." I roll down my window too and yell back, "Sorry, can't you see my hazard lights are on? That means I can park here." His face turned bright red. He's shouting about how I'm being ridiculous and he has other deliveries to make. I just pointed at my hazard lights and shrugged. That's when I watched this grown man have an absolute meltdown. He's screaming every curse word you can imagine, pounding his steering wheel, the whole thing. Then he realized I was serious. I was not moving, so he had to put his van in reverse and back up down this tiny narrow street for like 300 meters. The whole time he's hanging his head out the window yelling at me. People were coming out of their houses to watch. It was beautiful. He finally got far enough back to do a 3-point turn and drove off still screaming. I could hear him from inside my car. I started my car back up and drove to the town hall. Made it to my appointment with like 2 minutes to spare. The restaurant owner actually called me later that day to apologize. Turns out multiple neighbors had complained about that same driver before. They ended up switching to a different delivery company. Best part, every time I see a delivery van on my street now, they're parked across the street exactly where they're supposed to be.